Gemini, sometimes the moment everything changes in your life doesn't look like a miracle. It looks like a choice you're terrified to finally make. Gemini, as I open your reading, I feel that the key for you right now is simple but powerful. This time you choose you. And I need you to stay with me until the very end of this reading, because there is a very specific turning point showing up in these cards that could affect something important happening around you. And you really shouldn't miss that message. Take a breath with me, Gemini. Imagine that for a moment the noise around you fades, and it's just you, your heart, and the truth you've been avoiding. I feel like lately, part of you is trying to move forward, and another part is still clinging to the familiar, even if that familiar hurts. You've been juggling stories, roles, masks, and there's a quiet exhaustion underneath it all. Spirit is stepping in now to show you that you are not crazy, you are not too much, and you are not broken. You're just at a threshold. And this reading is about what happens when your mind and your heart finally decide to walk in the same direction. The first card on my table for you is the Two of Swords. Look at this energy, Gemini. This is the image of a person blindfolded, holding two crossed swords over their chest, stuck between two paths, two decisions, two versions of themselves. This is you in a moment of suspension. You may look calm on the outside, but inside there is tension, questions, and a deep fear of choosing wrong. The Two of Swords tells me you've been living in a sort of emotional limbo. Maybe you've been going back and forth about a relationship. Maybe you're unsure whether to leave a job, a city, or a situation that no longer feels like home. Or maybe the struggle is more internal. The person you've been for everyone else versus the person you secretly know you are. This card is saying you can't stay in that limbo forever. The reason it feels so heavy is because your intuition already chose before your mind did, and that inner knowing is getting louder. The blindfold in the Two of Swords is important. It says you don't need more information. You've replayed the conversations, you've studied the signs, you've imagined every outcome. This is no longer about facts. This is about trust. Trusting yourself. Trusting that even if you don't know exactly how it all plays out, you won't abandon yourself in the process. Gemini, the Two of Swords also highlights your dual nature. You are brilliant at seeing both sides. That's your gift and your curse. Because when you see every angle, every what if, it's easy to stay frozen. The card is calling you to put one sword down, to stop defending every possible scenario and instead defend your own peace. Ask yourself, which option makes my chest tighten with dread, and which one, even if it scares me, makes my soul feel a little lighter when I imagine it? That's where Spirit is pointing you. Now, the second card that appears for you is the Lovers. And of course it is. This is one of your cards, Gemini. Traditionally linked to your sign, the Lovers is not only about romance. It's about alignment. It's about the sacred moment when the choice you make is finally in harmony with who you really are. So we go from the Two of Swords, paralysis and indecision, to the Lovers, which is clarity and conscious choice. This tells me that the universe is not going to keep you stuck in that mental chaos forever. A situation, a conversation, or a realization is coming that will force you to choose. But here's the twist. It's not just about choosing another person, another job, another place. It's about choosing your truth over your fear. The Lover says, when you choose from fear, you betray yourself. When you choose from love, especially self-love, you unlock a different timeline. For some of you, this absolutely points to a connection that has been weighing heavily on your heart. There may be someone who mirrors your complexity, someone who triggers both your deepest hope and your deepest insecurity. The Lovers asks, are you making yourself small to keep this person close? Are you trying to be the version of you that you think they can handle, instead of the full, messy, magical truth of who you are? If so, this card is your wake-up call. Love that requires you to disappear is not love, it's a costume. For others, the Lovers is about a big life choice that splits off into two separate futures. Maybe you've been wondering if you should commit fully to a creative path, a new business, a move abroad, or a completely different lifestyle. The Lovers comes in like an inner alarm, ringing softly. What if the thing you're afraid to choose is exactly the thing that would finally make you feel alive? Gemini, you are not meant to live halfway. You are meant to be fully awake in your own story. The energy between the Two of Swords and the Lovers is powerful. Together, they say, the moment you drop the blindfold and choose with your heart, everything begins to rearrange around you. People will fall away. New opportunities will appear. And yes, comfort zones will burn a little. But on the other side of that discomfort is a life that feels like it actually belongs to you. The third card for you is the Eight of Pentacles. This is such a grounding, practical energy to see after such intense emotional and mental cards. The Eight of Pentacles shows someone carefully working on their craft, building something patiently one step at a time. This is the universe telling you, once you choose, the next phase is not chaos, it's focus. Gemini, you are brilliant, quick, adaptable, and endlessly curious. But sometimes your energy scatters. You start many things and finish only a few. The Eight of Pentacles is your reminder that mastery comes from devotion. The life you're dreaming of is not built overnight or by accident. It is carved day by day, choice by choice. This card shows you sitting down with your own future like a project you are serious about. It's you deciding, I'm not just going to wish for change, I'm going to work for it consistently, even on the days I don't feel like it. This can show up in many areas. In your career, this card can indicate a period of study, training, or honing your skills. Maybe you are finally ready to invest in something you love. Taking a course, starting a side hustle, committing to your art, your writing, your communication gifts. In love, it can mean learning how to show up differently. Communicating more clearly, rebuilding trust, or healing your attachment patterns so you stop repeating the same painful cycles. In your personal life, it might look like discipline, setting routines, taking care of your body, building habits that support the version of you you're becoming. What's beautiful here is that the Lovers and the Eight of Pentacles together say, when you choose your true path, life stops feeling like random struggle and starts feeling like a sacred practice. Things still require effort, but that effort becomes satisfying. Every little step becomes a brick in the foundation of your new reality. You start to feel proud of yourself again, not because everything is perfect, but because you know you're finally moving in integrity. I also feel a message here about not underestimating your own potential. The Eight of Pentacles keeps showing me your hands, Gemini, your hands typing, writing, creating, building, organizing, touching. Spirit is saying you are more talented than you give yourself credit for. You might have convinced yourself that certain dreams are unrealistic or too late, but this card says no. If you show up, if you train, if you pour yourself into it with intention, you can become exceptional at something that truly matters to you. And that will open doors that right now you can't even see. There's another layer here. This card is also about rewriting your beliefs about effort. Maybe you grew up thinking that working hard always leads to burnout and disappointment. Maybe you've told yourself, it's not worth trying. Things never work out for me anyway. The Eight of Pentacles gently challenges that. It asks, what if this time working hard actually does pay off because now you're working for the right thing, not for someone else's dream? What if this time, all that energy feeds your soul instead of draining it? So where are we now, Gemini? We start with the Two of Swords, you, stuck in a painful in-between. Then we move to the Lovers, the moment of truth where you choose alignment over fear. And then the Eight of Pentacles, the grounded work that begins once you commit to that path. This is the beginning of your story of transformation. You are not being punished. You are being invited. Invited to stop living a life that doesn't fit you and to start consciously building one that does. As I look at the remaining cards on the table, cards I haven't revealed yet, I can already see that this journey is going to take you through a powerful turning point. There is a card ahead that speaks of a sudden, dramatic shift a moment that shakes the foundations of your life so that what's false can fall away. And right beside it, there is another card that shines like a light after the storm, promising renewal, hope, and recognition. We're not there yet in this part of your reading, but the energy is already humming in the background, like distant thunder. For now, Spirit wants you to sit with this, the crossroads, the choice, and the work. Ask yourself, honestly, where am I keeping the blindfold on because I'm afraid of what I'll have to do once I admit the truth? Who or what am I still choosing over my own peace? And what would happen if, just for once, I decided that my growth, my happiness, and my future were worth committing to completely? Because this is where your transformation begins, Gemini. Not in some distant future, not when the conditions are perfect. It begins the moment you stop waiting for permission and start acting like the main character of your own story. And in the next chapter of this reading, we're going to see what happens when the universe steps in and forces a breakthrough that changes everything. Gemini, as I said, there is a point in this reading where the universe steps in and everything shifts. And that moment arrives now. As I turn the next card, the energy in this reading changes completely. The next card on my table for you is the Tower. Don't panic when you hear that, because this is actually the moment your story begins to free itself from everything that was suffocating you. The Tower is the card of sudden change, of shocking truths, of structures that crumble because they were never truly stable to begin with. This is the conversation you didn't expect, the breakup you didn't see coming, the realization that hits you out of nowhere and makes you look at your life and say, I can't keep living like this. This is the unexpected message, the canceled plan, the opportunity that appears only because something else falls apart. Remember what I told you at the beginning. There is a very specific turning point showing up in these cards that could affect something important happening around you. This is it. The Tower is that energy. Today, or very soon, something important may shake your routine, your expectations, your vision of someone or something. It may feel disruptive. It may feel unfair at first. But Spirit is clear. This is not happening to punish you. It is happening to wake you up and redirect you toward the path that truly aligns with who you are becoming. In love, the Tower can show up as the truth finally being revealed. The mask falls. You see someone's intentions clearly, or you see your own pattern clearly. The way you've been shrinking, chasing, or waiting for crumbs of affection when you deserve a feast. In work, it could be a sudden change in your job, your finances, your responsibilities. A project ends, a door closes, a plan collapses, and your first reaction might be fear. What am I going to do now? But underneath that fear, there is also a quiet, almost guilty relief. Because part of you knew this structure was fragile. Part of you knew it couldn't last forever. The Tower energy, combined with the Two of Swords you had at the beginning, is fascinating. First, you were stuck, scared to make a choice. Now the universe says, if you won't move, I'll move what's around you. It's like Spirit is shaking the snow globe of your life. Everything you thought was solid gets stirred up. The false stability breaks. And in that chaos, something incredible happens. You remember who you are without all those expectations, roles, and obligations weighing you down. For some of you, this Tower moment might be an argument, a confession, a truth you hear through someone else, or a sudden emotional reaction you can't suppress anymore. You might say what you've been holding back. You might walk away in a moment of clarity that surprises even you. For others, it can be external. A situation changes, someone leaves, an offer falls through. It's intense, but it's also liberating. And here's the hidden blessing. The Tower only destroys what is no longer aligned with your soul. It doesn't take away what is truly meant for you. What is real, what is rooted in truth, what is genuinely connected to your growth. Those things remain. Everything else is debris. Right after the Tower, I pull the next card for you, and it makes perfect sense. The next card in your reading is the Star. Gemini, this is one of the most beautiful energies you can receive after such a powerful shakeup. The star is hope after the storm. It is the soft, quiet light that appears when the sky has been ripped open and you thought nothing beautiful could come from the chaos. This card shows healing, emotional renewal, and the gentle reassurance that you are being guided, even if you don't see the full map yet. The star whispers to you, you are not alone. Your story is not over. Something pure and true is being born from everything you've just survived. The star comes after the tower in the major arcana for a reason. First, the false structure falls. Then the real you emerges. This card is you sitting in the aftermath of change, maybe tired, maybe emotional, but suddenly honest with yourself in a way you haven't been in a long time. You stop pretending that you're fine when you're not. You stop running. You start feeling again. And in that emotional vulnerability, your intuition becomes loud and clear. This is where you start to notice small signs, a song lyric that hits too deeply to be random, a repeating number, a dream that feels like a message, a conversation with someone who says exactly what you needed to hear. The star says, pay attention. Spirit is speaking to you through synchronicities. Your guides, your higher self, the universe, however you want to name it, are now closer to you than ever because your defenses are down. Your heart is open, even if it's a little raw. The star also carries a powerful message about your identity, your visibility, and your voice. Gemini, you are a sign ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. You were born to express, to share, to connect, to translate experiences into words, ideas, content, conversations. The star often points to you being seen for who you truly are. This might mean sharing your story, opening up about what you've been through, allowing others to see your process, not just your polished version. It can bring opportunities to be recognized in your community, on social networks, at work, in your relationships. Your authenticity becomes magnetic. If you felt invisible, underestimated, or ignored, the star says that phase is ending. As you heal, as you drop the roles and speak from your actual heart, people start to gravitate toward you. Not everyone, only the ones who resonate with your truth. But that's exactly what you need right now. Genuine connections, not crowded rooms full of people who don't really see you. Between the tower and the star, your reading shows a dramatic emotional arc, collapse, then renewal, breakdown, then breakthrough. That's the energy of this phase of your life. You might cry, you might laugh, you might feel lost and found in the same week. That's okay. That's how transformation actually feels on the inside. It's not clean, it's wild, but it's real. Now, as you begin to heal and reconnect with your hope, the tarot shows me the energy that propels you forward. The next card on your table is the Chariot. The Chariot is movement, determination, and victory through focused will. This is you getting back into the driver's seat of your life. After being paralyzed in indecision, Two of Swords, after facing a huge truth, the Tower, and after reconnecting with your hope and authenticity, the Star. The Chariot is your moment of power. It's you saying, I know what I want now. I know what I refuse to tolerate, and I'm ready to move. This card is incredibly important for you, Gemini, because your energy can sometimes scatter in many directions. You have so many ideas, so many possibilities, that you may end up starting 10 journeys and finishing none. The Chariot arrives to harness all that energy and force it into one lane, one direction, one clear intention. It's the part of your story where you stop reacting to life and start actively steering it. In practical terms, the Chariot can manifest as travel, relocation, or progress in a specific area you care deeply about. You might finally take charge of your career, applying for the opportunities you actually want instead of the ones you think you should settle for. You might decide to move away from a space that feels energetically heavy. You may commit to a personal project with a new level of seriousness. No more someday, no more excuses. In love, the Chariot can mean moving a relationship forward, or, equally important, moving yourself forward from a relationship that stays stuck while you are growing. You become more self-directed. You stop waiting for someone else to pick you, and you start choosing yourself. You set boundaries. You say no when you mean no. You stop bending over backwards to be understood by people who are not willing to see you clearly. The Chariot also speaks to emotional control, not in the sense of suppressing your feelings, but in the sense of not letting them drive you into chaos. You feel deeply, but you're no longer letting every message, every delay, every reaction from others decide your mood. You become the calm center that guides your own movement. Your emotions are like the horses pulling the chariot, powerful, intense, but directed by your conscious will. And remember the 8 of Pentacles from before? The card of disciplined effort and craftsmanship? The Chariot and the 8 of Pentacles together tell a very strong story. You're not only healing and choosing, you are also building and advancing. This is not just emotional growth, it's also real-world progress. You could see tangible results. More stability, better opportunities, clearer goals, healthier relationships. This is not theoretical. This is the energy of real change. So where are we now in your journey, Gemini? First, you were frozen at a crossroads, torn between versions of yourself. Then you faced the truth and made a choice that aligned with your heart. You began to commit to your growth, to your craft, to your future. Then life shook you with a tower moment, removing what was false and forcing you to see what was real. Out of that chaos, the star rose, bringing hope, healing, and a sense of inner guidance. And now, with the Chariot, you are moving forward with courage and intention, becoming the conscious creator of your next chapter. What Spirit wants you to understand is this: you are not a victim of these changes. You are a participant. Some of what's happening around you, you cannot control, but how you respond, that is where your power lives. The tower may fall, but you decide what you build afterward. The star may appear, but you decide whether you follow its light or stay focused on the rubble behind you. The Chariot is here to remind you, you are allowed to want more. You are allowed to outgrow places, relationships, and versions of yourself that no longer fit. And Gemini, as I look at the last cards that remain in this spread, I see that all this movement and transformation is leading you to success, recognition, emotional fulfillment, and a powerful sense of completion. The journey isn't finished yet. There are still important messages ahead about how others will respond to this new version of you, about the rewards that are coming, and about the beautiful closure of a cycle that has been exhausting your soul for far too long. But for now, in this part of your reading, Spirit wants you to really feel this. The worst part, the confusion, the stuckness, the pretending, has already begun to break apart. You are stepping into a phase where your courage, your honesty, and your willingness to move forward will shape everything. The next cards show what happens when you dare to show up as the real you and the universe finally mirrors that back with love, success, and completion. Gemini, with the Chariot energy pushing you forward, I can feel your story gaining momentum. You're no longer standing at the crossroads wondering what to do. You're moving. And as you move, I turn over the next card to see how the world responds to this new version of you. The next card on your table is the 6 of Wands. This is the card of success, recognition, and victory after struggle. If the Chariot is you deciding to move, the 6 of Wands is life applauding that decision. This energy shows you being seen, appreciated, even celebrated for who you are and what you've overcome. It's the moment when people around you start to notice. Something is different about you. You're glowing. You're stronger. You're not taking the same old nonsense anymore. The 6 of Wands tells me that the changes you're making, those scary choices, the boundaries, the commitment to your growth, are not happening in the dark. They're leading you somewhere visible. You could receive praise, opportunities, positive feedback, or even public recognition. Maybe at work you're finally acknowledged for your talent. Maybe in your creative or social life, more people resonate with your real voice. Maybe in your relationships, someone finally says, "I'm proud of how far you've come." There's also a message here about allowing yourself to be seen in your victory. Gemini, sometimes you minimize your own progress. You say, "It's not a big deal," or "anyone could have done it." or I still have so far to go. The Six of Wands asks you to own your wins. You didn't get here by accident. You got here by surviving the Tower, choosing alignment with the Lovers, doing the work of the Eight of Pentacles, and directing your energy with the Chariot. You earned this. So when compliments come in, when doors open, when life reflects back your growth, don't shrink. Don't deflect. Say thank you. Let your spirit register that you are, in fact, moving in the right direction. This card says you are stepping out of the crowd, not as someone who is better than others, but as someone who finally stopped hiding. Now, of course, success on the outside is beautiful, but the tarot wants to show what's happening inside you as all this unfolds. So I pull the next card, and I see the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is known as the Wish card. It's emotional satisfaction, joy, and a sense of I did it. But pay attention, Gemini. In this card, the person sits alone, surrounded by 9 cups lined up neatly. They are content, at peace, fulfilled from within, not because someone else is completing them, but because they have learned to value their own heart. This is a crucial part of your story. After all the chaos, after the breakthroughs, and the forward movement, the Nine of Cups shows you reaching a place where you no longer need external validation to feel worthy. The Six of Wands says people see you. The Nine of Cups says you see yourself. This card feels like you coming home to your own energy. You start to enjoy your own company again. You might rediscover hobbies, passions, or simple pleasures that you had abandoned when you were in survival mode. You laugh more. You rest without guilt. You celebrate small milestones. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, you start to notice what's already blossoming in your life. The Nine of Cups also speaks of a wish coming true, but often it's not in the dramatic, movie-like way we imagine. It's quieter. It's the realization that you've become the person you once prayed to be. More confident, more honest, more free. It can bring tangible blessings too. Money, opportunities, love, creative breakthroughs. But the core of this energy is inner fullness. You stop chasing what doesn't respect you because you're no longer starving for crumbs. You know your worth. And that changes everything in your relationships. Because when you are emotionally full, you no longer cling from fear. You choose from love. You're no longer asking, who will save me? But instead, who can grow with me? That shift, Gemini, is one of the most powerful transformations your soul came here to experience. As this inner fulfillment grows, I look to see how it reflects in your emotional life, your connections, your sense of home. The next card that appears is the Ten of Cups. This is emotional fulfillment at a higher level. Harmony, connection, a sense of belonging. The Ten of Cups shows a family or a soul group standing together under a rainbow, cups rising above them. It's that feeling of, I am safe, I am loved, I am where I'm meant to be. For you, this doesn't have to look like a traditional family, though for some it may mean healing with family, starting a family, or building one. More broadly, this is your emotional environment finally beginning to match the work you've done within. If you felt like an outsider, misunderstood, or underappreciated, the Ten of Cups suggests that you are moving toward connections that feel like home. You may attract friends, partners, collaborators, or communities that actually get you, that celebrate your depth and complexity instead of being intimidated by it. You won't have to explain why you feel so much. They'll just understand. In love, this card can indicate long-term potential, commitment, or healing in a current relationship, but only when it aligns with your growth. The Ten of Cups in your story is not about fairy tales that require you to pretend. It's about real love that meets you where you are and grows with you. For some, this could be a new relationship that arrives after deep healing. For others, it might be a current relationship evolving to a more honest, emotionally intimate level. And for others still, it could be the joy of choosing a peaceful life on your own terms, surrounded by friends or chosen family that feel closer than blood. Remember, the Tower removed what was false. The Star healed your heart. The Chariot moved you forward. The Six of Wands brought you recognition. The 9 of Cups brought you inner satisfaction. The 10 of Cups now says, this is what happens when you refuse to settle. You don't just get a little better, you get a life that actually fits. There is one final card on your table, Gemini, the card that closes this entire arc. As I turn it over, your story comes full circle. The last card in your reading is the World. The World represents completion, graduation, and the successful ending of a major cycle in your life. It is the card of you did it. It says that a pattern that used to loop over and over again, especially around indecision, self-betrayal, and staying small, is finally ready to end. Not because fate magically fixes it, but because you have grown beyond it. With the World, you integrate everything you've learned. The pain, the mistakes, the courage, the love, the endings, and the beginnings. You no longer look at your past and feel only regret. You start to see a pattern of strength. You realize that every version of you, even the ones who tolerated less than they deserved, was doing the best they could with the information they had at the time. The World is a card of self-forgiveness as much as it is a card of achievement. For you, this may show up as a big milestone, finishing something, moving, changing careers, releasing a long-term situation, or finally letting go of someone who has lived in your heart rent-free for too long. It can also indicate you stepping onto a bigger stage, literally or metaphorically, sharing your gifts with a wider audience, connecting with people from different places, realizing that your story, your voice, your lessons are not just for you, they can help others too. The World energy is powerful for Gemini because it symbolizes integration. You are a sign of duality, light and shadow, logic and emotion, spontaneity and overthinking. The World says, you don't have to choose one side anymore. You are allowed to be all of it, the serious and the playful, the rational and the mystical, the wounded and the wise. All of those selves now sit at the same table, and you are the one who unites them. So, when we step back and look at your entire reading, what do we see? We see you at a painful crossroads, blindfolded, afraid to choose, 2 of Swords. We see you realizing that the only real choice is the one aligned with your heart and truth, the Lovers. We see you committing to your growth and your craft, 8 of Pentacles. We see life shaking everything that was false, the Tower, then bathing you in healing and hope, the Star. We see you taking the reins and moving forward with intention, the Chariot. We see the world starting to recognize your power, 6 of Wands, and you recognizing your own worth, 9 of Cups. We see you arriving at emotional stability, harmony, and belonging, 10 of Cups. And finally, we see you closing an old karmic chapter and stepping into a new level of life, whole and unapologetic, the World. Gemini, this is not just a prediction. It's an invitation. The cards are showing you a possible path, a timeline that opens when you decide to choose yourself, to tell the truth, to move even when you're scared, and to keep going even when it's hard. You are not meant to stay in the old story where you're confused, overlooked, and half alive. You are meant to live the story where you are awake, seen, and deeply fulfilled. So here is the message I promised you at the beginning. Today is not just another day. It's a turning point if you want it to be. Something important is shifting in your energy, in your choices, in the way you talk to yourself. And those small internal shifts, they're going to rearrange your entire outer reality. If this reading resonates with you, don't just listen and move on. Claim it. Say out loud, I choose me. I choose my truth. I choose my future. Let your mind, your body, and your spirit hear it. Take one concrete action today, no matter how small, that aligns with the life this reading showed you. Send the message. Set the boundary. Start the project. Rest like you deserve it. Do something that your future self will look back on and say, that was the moment everything started to change. And if you feel this in your heart, Gemini, honor it. Share this message. Save it. Come back to it when you feel lost. Let it be a reminder that you are not stuck. You are in transition. You are in transformation, and you are so much stronger, wiser, and more deserving than you've been led to believe. Your story isn't over. In many ways, it's just beginning.